Your daily habits are the reason why you probably have low testosterone. All right. And I used to live like that. I would wake up in the morning, terrible sleep, only 4 hours of sleep, maybe 5 hours of sleep. First thing I would do is scroll on my phone for another good 1 to 2 hours. I would wake up. I didn't really have a routine. I was just sort of going through the motions. Maybe I eat some breakfast, maybe I don't. What am I eating? Probably just some leftovers, whatever's available. No structure to the day. And, you'd go to the gym, you'd sort of go through the motions again, lift light weights, a lot of reps, light weights, not really doing compound movements, not really optimizing your workout routine. Once you get out of the gym, your diet is crap. You're going to Chipotle or going to get fast food or something quick, protein shake, protein bars, etc. These simple habits, these are all culminating to you lowering your testosterone over time. All right, we already know protein powder is BS. All right, and if your sleep quality is crap, your testosterone's gonna tank. If you're not getting sunlight, your testosterone and energy levels are gonna tank. We all know this, but we're just stuck in this routine of just doing what we've always done. So, yeah, a lot of you guys are stuck there right now. And, it seems like a long road ahead of you. It seems like you have to change all these habits in order to get to high testosterone. But look, it's not as difficult as everybody's making it out to be. It's not, and I'm living proof of it. Because like I said, I used to be stuck in those mundane habits, those mundane routines. But look, your life's not going to change overnight. Look, this is actually one of my favorite quotes. Your life is not going to change overnight, but your habits can. All right, just start fixing your habits. Fix one habit at a time if you have to. All right, first things first is you got to optimize your sleep. All right, so go to sleep at the same time every single day, and that includes weekends. All right, that might be the hardest one to do, but if you can get proper sleep, everything else just becomes so much easier because you actually have proper rest and you have proper energy, sustained energy throughout the day. All right, 10 energy drinks are not going to give you this level of energy and productivity as much as 8 hours of sleep will. So the first thing you want to do is just fix your sleep. That's the biggest habit holding you back. Fix your sleep. Once you wake up, get sunlight in your eyes, all right? Eat some food, high protein, high fat, moderate carbs, all right? We're talking eggs, at least 4 eggs. Maybe do some kimchi just for good gut health, and maybe a little bit of fruit. You don't want to go too crazy on breakfast. Just something like just get something in your system. Start getting your testosterone pumping. All right? Make sure you're hydrated. A lot of you guys are not even getting proper hydration. And then once you make it to the gym, a lot of people, they do like low weight, high reps, and they think that's good for muscle growth. It's not. I don't know where that thought came from, but it's just not true. If you want to stimulate muscle growth properly, you need to be doing compound movements. So, for example, a bicep curl is going to work your biceps. That's an isolation movement. Great movement. I do it all the time, but that's not a compound movement, all right? You want to be doing pull-ups for your biceps, all right? Underhand reverse grip pull-ups. That is actually going to really build your biceps, especially when you're doing body weight pull-ups, okay? Because it's working your back, it's working your biceps, it's working your rear delts, it's working your core for stabilization, compound movement, and you want to go heavy on it. So start with body weight. Once you can get like 10 to 20 body weight easy, then start adding weight. Okay, either it be a weighted vest or hold the dumbbell between your legs. Start with, an extra 10 pounds of resistance, go up to 20 pounds resistance. Get good at reverse grip pull-ups. We're just talking about biceps here. That's just a quick example I just came up with. All right? Like I said, you're not going to change your entire life overnight. Just fix these small habits that are actually going to increase your testosterone over time. All right? And there's one more thing I want to touch on. And it's the dopamine, all right? Because dopamine is not going to directly affect your testosterone, But when you're constantly stimulating your dopamine and you're scrolling first thing in the morning and it's the last thing you do before bed, it ruins your sleep and it just ruins your energy. And again, we got to optimize everything. In order to really hit our goals of high testosterone, everything's got to be optimized. And we're talking energy levels as well. Because if your energy is low, you're not going to want to hit the gym. And even if you do hit the gym, you're not going to be getting, your proper reps in, right? If you have low energy, you're not going to want to go eat, all right? Or you're not going to want to eat properly. You might be tired and figure you might just go get some fast food or something. Everything's got to be dialed. So cut back on the dopamine overload, all right? So get the dopamine from lifting heavy weights, heavy compound movements. Get the dopamine from cold exposure, all right? At the end of the shower, cold water, as cold as you can take it for as long as you can take it. And get your dopamine from natural sunlight, all right? And there's one more trick to dopamine as well, is going out and talking to people. I've been telling you guys this for so long, and once you start implementing it, you'll see what I mean. Cut out the dopamine from cell phone use. Cut out the cheap dopamine from porn use. Get it from sunlight, conversation, cold exposure, and heavy compound movements, all right? That's where you need to be getting your dopamine from, all right? And it's just gonna stack, because then you're gonna wanna actually conquer tasks in life. And as you complete these tasks, you're getting more and more dopamine, which is increasing your energy, which is gonna increase your testosterone, and it's just an upward spiral. It's a snowball effect upwards. All right, that's the video for today, guys. Thanks for watching, and tune in tomorrow. I will see you then.